Okay, today we're talking about signs, stealing signs from the third base coach. I made a video a few days ago, Cardinals and Red Sox, and I said the Red Sox have to have the steal sign of the Cardinals. And I don't know if they had it or not. They could have just guessed right. But I said that, and a lot of people were talking about how that's cheating. You can't steal signs. They were talking about the Astros and banging on trash cans and all that stuff. Listen, this is totally different. Totally different putting a camera in center field and actually stealing signs and know that when the catcher puts down the number one that a fastball's coming and then banging trash cans, like that's totally different than looking at the third base coach's signs and stealing the signs that way. That coach is right out in the open. Everybody can see him. And you'd be silly to think that people are like, oh, the coach is giving signs. I can't look at him. I can't look at his signs. No, everybody's looking. And that's why when you have signs as a team, you're always switching up the signs. So I had a lot of people say, Matt, can you give us some examples of that signs that you had at the major league level and how complicated are they and how much do you switch it up? And so I want to get into that today. So first thing to know is everybody knows that the other team is watching your signs. That's why you don't just stand out there when you want to steal and go, steal, go, run, bunt. But that's why those aren't the signs. That's why the signs, I got to get around my microphone here, right? Like I'm going to use my face a lot. You can also use your body. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm looking over here. You can see the body a little bit here. But that's why the signs are, they're touching all these different things because it's a code. You know the other team's watching. And so let me tell you how we did it. I'll talk about the Padres, and then obviously I played for 4 other organizations after that. Let's just talk a little bit about the Padres and my experience with them. I have talked about this in another video, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what our signs. I know that they don't use these signs anymore. There's totally new coaches and managers and all that stuff. But I'm not going to give you the exact signs that we have, but I'm going to give you some examples. And actually, when I was with the Padres, that was the most complicated signs I ever had. I actually messed up on a squeeze play once. That's a bad memory. I don't really want to think about it. But I was unsure of it. I was young and I was unsure. And I'm usually really, really good with signs. Like throughout my career, I never missed any signs. But the Padres, it was tough. I was getting confused because the way that we did it is we split the body in half. And so on this side of the body, it was like the chest, upper chest, the lower chest, and the leg was something. Let's just say it was like steal, hit and run, bunt. And then on this side of the chest, it was something else. It was delay steal, early steal. It was just other signs, okay? And for some reason, it was hard to keep all of those things like in my mind by splitting the body in half. And it was the first team that I really had that cut the body in half and had like right chest was something, left chest was something, like lower right stomach was something, lower left stomach was something, right leg was something, left leg was something else. Because I'd be up there and I'd be like, wait, squeeze, fake squeeze. Was that right chest or left chest? Right? And so that was the first time where it was a little bit confusing. And I don't remember exactly where I messed up with the squeeze. I don't remember if I thought it was a fake squeeze or something, but I just remember the sides of the body confused me. Most teams, in my experience, wouldn't split the body in half. And so it would just be like my hand, if I touch my hand up a little high, if I touch my hand, that's a steal. If I'm down the arm, that's a hit and run. If I touch my ear, that's a bunt or something like that. And then you'd have an indicator. And the indicator is what typically changes. And so maybe the indicator is the chin. And so I can touch all these different parts of my body right here, but if I go to my chin, then the next sign I give is live. So if I go chin to hand, that might be a steal. And then maybe we play that team and where chin is the indicator, but then maybe next time we play them, we say, okay, double ears is the indicator. So if I go double ears, then the next sign is live. So let's say this is bunt. Let's say my left ear is bunt. And I'm going through all my signs here. I know you can't see me touching my legs here, but then I go double ears, and then I come back to the ear, and it's a bunt. So the indicator is what typically changes, and you can change that as much as you want. Usually you're not going to change all your signs. So you're not going to say like, okay, left hand is bunt today, but then tomorrow it's left leg, and then next week it's right leg, because then that gets a little bit confusing. But if you're just changing the indicator, well, then you can keep all your signs the same. And even if the team figures out somehow that the left hand is the steal, they've got to figure out what the indicator is, and we can change the indicator as many times as we want. So I'm not saying every team does it that way, but that's typically how it was done. The indicator gets changed. And so those are the main signs that are given. Again, third base coach is giving those all the time. It comes from the manager first. So usually the manager will give the sign out to the third base coach, and the third base coach gives it to the team. And I don't know if you guys have watched the Netflix documentary with the Red Sox, but there's actually a very, very short clip where you can see Cora talking to the third base coach, and he goes, hey, if we're going to do a fake steal, we'll go double ears. And I think the coach is like, what's that? And he's like, fake steal, double ears. I believe it was fake steal. I watched it a few days ago. And so all he was saying was, Cora was telling him, if I want you to put on a fake steal, I'm going to go double ears right here. So the coach has his own signs to the coach, and then the coach has separate signs to the team. So hopefully that all makes sense. Now, there are other signs that are given. We're not going to go through all those today, but the catcher's going to give signs. First and third defense, are we going to throw through? Are we going to pump fake and look to third? Those are going to be signs that come from the catcher. If we have runners at first and second and we could get a potential steal, we typically give a sign out to the infielders so we know which base we're going to throw to. So if we have a super fast guy at second and a slow guy at first, and I want to throw to get the trail runner, not the lead runner, I want to get the guy at first out because he's slower and I don't think I can throw the guy out at third, I give a sign to tell my infielders, hey, don't cover third. I'm not throwing there. I'm throwing the second. Or maybe we've got a slow guy at second and a fast guy at first. We go, okay, we're going to throw to third. So those are signs that you give. There's bunt defenses where catcher's going to come out and give signs, and it's going to indicate, okay, how are we going to run this bunt defense? Are we going to run a crash play, a wheel play? Are we going to run a straight up standard defense? There's all these different plays that you can run, and we could take forever talking about those. But the main thing I want to talk about today are the signs that are given most often, and those are the signs by the third base coach, because they're giving those pretty much every single pitch when there's a runner on base. And again, I just want to emphasize, teams do look at the third base coach to figure that out. Now, there's rules, I know at our level, like you can't video the third base coach. So I don't look at the Major League rule book, but I'm pretty sure that you can't video the third base coach and try to decipher signs. That would be cheating. But if he's out there, I can just, if I'm managing the game, I can just stare over at him and say, okay, he touched this and that and this and this and that and that. Okay, that's nothing. Okay, he touched his hat, his leg, his hat, his ear, his hat, his belt. Okay, they bunted. Okay, what could that mean? And then I can try to figure that out. There's nothing that says I can't do that. That's not cheating. That's just part of the game. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, put in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you later.
If you've got hitters that you're looking to improve before the start of next season, this is essential for you. Matt Antonelli here, former Major League player, first-round pick, and college coach. With this course, we're going to show you exactly, step-by-step, how to generate power, develop bat speed, and enhance swing mechanics. Regardless of your hitter's age, this course is going to deliver advanced hitting techniques that will allow any hitter to get better and make an impact at the plate this spring. We have a full catalog of training content that you can access from anywhere at any time. This course is perfect for players, parents, coaches, instructors, and more. Our course has helped hitters all over the country at different competition levels, and the feedback that we've received has been outstanding. The work you put in now will drive your success at the plate this spring. Get the essential knowledge that you need to take your game to the next level.